Hi guys, hope everyone is doing well. సో ఈ రోజు చెప్పబోయే టాపిక్ ఏంటంటే సిఐఏ ట్రయాడ్. ఎందుకంటే చాలా మంది ఆన్సర్లు చాలా రాంగ్ ఇస్తున్నారు అనమాట. వెన్ ఎవర్ ఐ విల్ ఆస్క్ సంథింగ్ ఆర్ ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్, బేసికలీ దే ఆర్ కన్ఫ్యూజింగ్ అబౌట్ కాన్ఫిడెన్షియాలిటీ, ఇంటిగ్రిటీ అండ్ అవైలబిలిటీ. సో ఈ కాన్ఫిడెన్షియాలిటీ, ఇంటిగ్రిటీ, అవైలబిలిటీ అనేది ప్రతి ఒక్క ఆర్గనైజేషన్కి చాలా 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 ఇంపార్టెంట్ అనమాట. సో వాట్ ఎవర్ సెక్యూరిటీ టర్మ్ ఆర్ వర్డ్ ఆర్ మేబీ acronym if you will take, mainly those words will revolve around these three terms only. సో అందుకే ఈ సిఏ ట్రయాడ్ అనేది బేసికల్గా పిల్లర్ ఫర్ ఎనీ ఆర్గనైజేషన్. సో కాన్ఫిడెన్షియాలిటీ, ఇంటిగ్రిటీ అండ్ అవైలబిలిటీ. సో దీన్నే మనము ఏఐసి ట్రయాడ్ కూడా అంటాం అనమాట. అంటే కొన్ని బుక్స్ మనకి ఎట్లా ఇస్తాయంటే సిఏ ట్రయాడ్ అని, సో కొన్ని బుక్స్ మనకి ఏఐసి ట్రయాడ్ అని ఇస్తాయి అనమాట. ఏఐసి ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ so availability, integrity and confidentiality. So both are same only, there is no confusion here. First, confidentiality. So confidentiality meaning here, it's a privacy of the data. Okay, so whenever any attacker or whenever any unauthorized user, if they are accessing the data, we have to protect that particular data exfiltration or preventing of the data exfiltration or minimizing of the data breach. That is called confidentiality. Privacy of the data or secrecy of the data or protection is to prevent or minimize unauthorized access of the data. So that is called as confidentiality. So confidentiality mainly it will protect the secrecy of the data or objects or resources or applications or databases. It depends. So that is about definition of the confidentiality. ఈ కాన్ఫిడెన్షియాలిటీ అనేది చాలా పారామీటర్స్ మీద డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంటుంది అనమాట. లేకపోతే ఈ పారామీటర్స్ మొత్తము ఈ సబ్సెట్ ఆఫ్ ది కాన్ఫిడెన్షియాలిటీ అనమాట. సో ఫస్ట్ పారామీటర్ ఏంటి? సెన్సిటివిటీ. డేటా అనేది సో సెన్సిటివిటీ వైజ్ వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఈజీ టు హ్యాక్ ఆర్ డిఫికల్ట్ టు హ్యాక్ ఆర్ how much sensitive to the respect organization point of view. So that is belongs to sensitivity. And so obviously sensitivity is a subset of confidentiality. Discretion. Discretion is a basically going away or alone. Okay, so discretion meaning here, so whatever data we are keeping, that data should be unauthorized access from the attackers. So that is discretion, is going away from the hackers. So that is nothing but obviously it's confidentiality. Criticality. So how much critical to the organizational level and whether it is a critical data or non-critical data. Next one is concealment. Concealment general meaning is embarrassment of the data or embarrassment of the respective person to attract. So that will fall under the concealment. So concealment ఎందుకు ఇక్కడ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నామంటే సేమ్ థింగ్. సో unauthorized person should not attract or should not access the data. So that is nothing but concealment. Secrecy. Obviously it is so very critical to the organization level and how much confidential. And privacy, so data protection and data information whatever we are gathering. And seclusion also basically so living alone or going away, or so that will fall under the data. So why we have seclusion also will fall under the confidentiality, because unauthorized user, whenever they are trying to access the data, it should go away and it should be alone and it should not be accessed by the attacker or unauthorized person or user. So that is the reason seclusion is also part of the confidentiality. Isolation. So here data or information we have to do the isolation based on the severity and the privacy and also secrecy, and we have to categorize the data. So these one also will fall under the confidentiality. So sensitivity, discretion, concealment, secrecy, privacy, seclusion, isolation, all these are subset of the confidentiality. So that is about overall confidentiality. Next one is integrity. So integrity in simple words, we have to say trustworthy of the data, believing of the data is called as integrity. So in the if you want to explain about the definition point of view, so protecting of the data in the reliability point of view or correctness of the data in the, so without any errors or without any alteration. So basically how we can define unauthorized user or attacker or person should not alter the data, that is nothing but updating or deleting or modifying of the data is called as integrity. So integrity once again has a lot of subparameters. Let's go and discuss about those. Accuracy. So accuracy is nothing but its correctness. How much corrective or data, whatever that data is providing, accuracy of the data, truthfulness, trustworthy of the data, authenticity. So whether is a person to authenticate the data, so he can alter or update or modify the data. Validity. So validity of the so and so date and time. Non-reputation. So once again, how much trustworthy of the organization point of view. Accountability. So whether really that user or person is accessing the data, whether he is accountable to access that particular data or not. A responsibility. So whether whoever is accessing the data or modifying the data or altering the data or adding the data, so whether he's a responsible person or not. So completeness, once again, it's a trustworthy or believeness and comprehensiveness. So these are all the parameters or subset of the integrity. So finally, availability. So availability in simple meaning, without any business disruptions or business outage or business impact. So that is called availability. Always respect to service or resources or object should be available to end user without any impact. So that is called availability. So you can see here, so authorized subjects are granted timely and uninterrupted access to objects. So timely manner, whenever any end user or any person, they are trying to access the data. So always it should be available. As per security best practices, so availability we can say 99.9999 That is almost equals to 100% obviously. So once again, availability has subparameters. Those parameters are usability. So whether can we use the respective services or objectives without any interruption, and accessibility always 99.9999 it is accessible or not by the respective authorized subjects, and timeliness whether all the 24/7 into 365 days. So authorized subjects can be access the respective objects or resources or else applications or databases or servers without any interruption. So that is called so timeliness. So these three parameters is a subset of availability. So these much in-depth analysis is available for the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, so these three are very, very important, and these three are pillars of any organization. So other than these three, we have a couple of other services also. Those services are AAA. So what is AAA or AAA is called authentication and authorization, auditing or accounting. So authentication is claiming of the user, and authorization, otherwise the identity of the user, authentication by providing credentials. Authorization, giving the grants or permissions by the backend server whenever any end user is authenticating to provide the identity. And auditing, so recording of the file or log an event is called as auditing part. And accounting here, so any breach or any violation it's happening, who is accountable? So traceability will fall under the accounting side. So these three also other services to any security in the organization they have to maintain. One is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Other than these three, we have to maintain the authentication and authorization and routing. But anyway, these three also subset of, once again, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So under these five services anyway, it's a part of AAA: identification, authentication, authorization, auditing, and accounting. So identification is claiming of the identity, who is the user. Authentication is identity of the end user, so to validate the credentials. And authorization is granting or giving the permissions from the backend server, whoever is authenticating. And auditing is recording file or an event is called as auditing site. And accounting is so providing the prevention or violation of whenever any data and accountable person or user. So these five is a subset of authentication and authorization and auditing side. So overall, we have confidentiality, integrity, and availability, these three pillars. Other than these three, and we have three A's, AAA services. Those AAA services are authentication, authorization, auditing, and accounting. So that's all about overall CI triad. And whatever security you can take it, and whatever security terminals you can take it, always entire endpoint or network or application or cloud or so IoT or whatever it may be, it will revolve around these three only. So confidentiality, integrity, availability, or else accountability, integrity, and availability. So this is a trade in-depth analysis and also CISSP part 1 training. Thank you so very much and thanks for watching the video.